Remember Sneakerasers from Shark Tank? It was a simple yet unique product to help us clean our shoes. The Sneakerasers episode aired during season 12, and over a year later, a lot of people are wondering how the company is doing today. Today, we'll be taking a look at what happened to Sneakerasers after Shark Tank and more. So stay tuned and let's dive in. First up, what was the pitch for Sneakerasers? The pitch for Sneakerasers came from entrepreneurs Chris Pavlica and Kevin Consolo. The two mentioned how they came up with the idea of the product when they spent way too much time simply cleaning their shoes using the traditional methods. They realized that this was wasteful, unproductive, and simply annoying. So they wanted to make a product that would clean any kind of shoe in the fastest and most efficient way possible. So they came up with the Sneakerasers. This was a tiny portable product that you could carry around in your pocket or purse wherever you went. They are made of pre-moistened rubber, so you don't need to add any sort of polish or cleaner, you simply have to use the scrub. Overall, most of the sharks loved the idea, and the live demonstration of how it works was also perfect. Everybody was pretty impressed, and because of this, the founders managed to get a deal. Up next, how much money did the Sneakerasers founders get from Shark Tank? The founders of Sneakerasers went into Shark Tank hoping to get at least $200,000 while giving up 8% in equity. To back up this value, Sneakerasers had already amassed sales of over $1.1 million, and only 10% of that came from online sales, making that figure even more impressive. However, none of the sharks really believed that value. The founders were also hoping to get Lori and Alex on board for the deal, since the duo had collectively invested in another footwear cleaning product before. This would make it easier for the two products to be tied in. Eventually, Sneakerasers got the deal, but it wasn't for as much as the founders were hoping. They ended up giving away 20% equity in the company, more than twice what they were hoping to give away, but in the end, they got the money they needed. The reason why Sneakerasers needed $200K was to expand their online presence. The product was already a massive success in stores, but to expand their online presence, they needed the help of some sharks. Coming up, what happened shortly after Shark Tank? Even though Sneakerasers was already a pretty big brand with over $1 million in sales, their appearance on Shark Tank made it viral. Almost immediately after the show aired, before Lori and Alex could even bring any changes to the company, they saw a boost in sales. This is actually typical for most products that appear on Shark Tank, even the ones that don't get a deal. Before Shark Tank, Sneakerasers was only in around 300 stores across the US, but now the brand has expanded to over 3,000 stores nationwide. Some of the stores carrying this brand include Walmart, CVS, Kroger, Fred Meyer, and more. According to the latest ZoomInfo data, Sneakerasers is now worth over $5 million, which is much higher than what the sharks valued the company at. Overall, it seems like appearing on Shark Tank was definitely a good idea for the founders of the brand, but was the deal really that successful? Up next, did Lori and Alex actually invest in the company? Even though founders Chris Pavlica and Kevin Consolo did successfully pitch their product on Shark Tank, getting a $200,000 deal in the process, it still didn't confirm whether they got the money or not. The way Shark Tank works is that on-camera deals happen for the show, but the entrepreneurs and the sharks also discuss other business-related matters off-camera. A lot of the time, the deals end up falling apart since the two parties can't make an agreement. So, did that happen with Sneakerasers? It seems like it. Currently, Sneakerasers is under the FTI brand's umbrella, which is owned by Chris and Kevin. Even though neither party has confirmed or denied this, there have been reports of the founders passing on the deal they made with the sharks. Apparently, it was because 20% was simply too much equity for them to give away. Neither Lori nor Alex are mentioned on the Sneakerasers or the FTI brand's website. On top of that, Shark Tank hasn't given an update on the show for Sneakerasers yet, which is strange considering they do so quite often. However, on the company's website, there is an "As Seen on Shark Tank" logo used, so who knows, maybe they're still in contact with the sharks in one form or another. Next, Sneakerasers continues to grow. Since there isn't a lot of information about Sneakerasers available on the internet right now, many people still aren't convinced that the company is a success. But in recent months, the company came out with 2 new products, and that might indicate that there is still a lot of interest in it. The main new product they came out with is the Purse Wipes. This product is basically the same thing, but it has been specially designed to clean purses instead of shoes. The other product is the Auto Eraser, which is a larger product that's meant to make cleaning cars easy for everyone. This expansion is a good sign that the company is relatively healthy. After all, why wouldn't it be? Coming up, how did the customers react to Sneakerasers? The most important thing for a brand is to make sure that the customers are always happy. The happier the customers are, the better reviews and word-of-mouth marketing they will get. Even though Sneakerasers seemed like an ingenious idea during the pitch, not everything is always as it seems on TV. There have been many cases of a product looking great on Shark Tank that ends up being plain bad when customers actually buy it and use it. But was that the case with Sneakerasers? It doesn't seem so. The product has received over 3,600 reviews on Amazon so far, and the overall rating is 4 out of 5 stars. On Facebook, the product has a 4.2 star rating. Overall, it seems like most customers of Sneakerasers are loving the product. However, many of the negative reviews pointed out how fragile the product is. Some complained about how the sponge, that's meant to be reusable, gets torn up after a single clean, while others complained about how the pre-moistened sponge lost its potency each time after it was washed. The complaints only made up a small part of the reviews though. For the most part, reviews were almost universally positive. Now, let's take a look at some other related news. First, Kevin reveals his best and worst investments ever. Kevin O'Leary recently gave an interview where he looked back at some of the investments he has made both within and outside of Shark Tank. Kevin said that one of the best investment decisions he's ever made was to invest in female-owned businesses. Apparently, over 75% of the returns he has received were from businesses owned by women. A great example of this is when he invested in the Wicked Good Cupcakes, owned by a mother-daughter duo. The company went from $150,000 in sales to over $10 million in sales in just 3 years. On the other hand, Kevin says that the worst investment was with an undisclosed company that asked for more than $250,000 on Shark Tank. He said that the founder of the company kept calling him for more and more cash, and this ultimately led to the company getting into a lot of debt and ultimately bankrupting itself. Kevin didn't reveal the name of the company since he's currently fighting a lawsuit against them. Coming up, Gwyneth Paltrow to be a guest shark. Gwyneth Paltrow might be famous for being an Oscar-winning actress, but did you know she was also a very good investor? After all, she owns Goop, and whether you love Goop or hate it, you can't deny its success. More recently, ABC announced the lineup for the upcoming 14th season of Shark Tank, and one of the names on the guest shark list was none other than Gwyneth Paltrow. This will be the first time that Paltrow will make an appearance on the show, whereas most guest sharks have been recurring, such as Alex Rodriguez. It'll be interesting to see her on the show, especially if the entrepreneurs show off any beauty or health-related products that Paltrow could promote on Goop. And finally, Shark Tank product saves 700,000 animals. One of the most successful Shark Tank products in recent years has been Umaro Foods. This was the company that came up with the world's first seaweed-based bacon. And even though a meat lover might consider that blasphemous, in the world of business, money is all that matters. After striking a deal with Mark Cuban recently, Umaro Foods is now worth over $14 million. The reviews of the bacon have been almost universally positive among vegans, with many saying that it mimics almost the exact texture of bacon. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Sneakerasers will continue to be a success? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.